Hey guys, it's Eric from GameShampoo.com reporting to you from PAX East in Boston, Massachusetts in the middle of the night. Today was day one of PAX. It's Friday, and kind of just getting back from it now. It's like 12:30 at night over here, and it's been a crazy day. I know people throw around the phrase "hit by a truck" like all the time, like, oh, I just ran a 10K, I just worked for 8 hours or whatever, pulled a long shift, I feel like I got hit by a truck. You don't know pain, okay? I am in pain right now. I'm seriously, my legs feel like they're not going to be attached to my body within the next week if I have to continue that regimen for 2 more days. It was a crazy day. It really was. Video went to some dark places really early for a second there, but I'm turning it around. So it was nuts. Like I said in a video that I did last night, this is my first PAX event, but definitely not my first kind of big convention event. And you know, they say they don't do it like PAX, or things to that effect, I guess, and they really don't. It's just face to face, you and the developers and the publishers and the PR people out there, getting you pumped, having conversations with them, getting to know new people. It's a pretty interesting event, and I would definitely recommend people to go if they're thinking about it, if they're on the fence or whatever. I think it seems like it's worth it. So day one, I'm going to do a little recap video here. I guess I should probably first address this big pile of shit that is sitting in front of me. And then I'll get on into the news and kind of where we're going from here kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a ton of junk in front of me. This is all the swag that I got today. First day swag roundup, I guess you could say. And you may have heard or inferred from the stuff that we did with Comic-Con last year that we're going to be collecting as much swag as we can possibly. By we, I mean I, because I am it. So I guess I will be collecting as much swag as I can get my sweaty little dirty hands on, making that sound really appealing. Yeah, so I'm going to be collecting all the swag I possibly can while I'm running around doing all this other like preview coverage, playing games, talking to people kind of stuff. And so that typically just involves going up to people, playing their game. Usually they'll shove something in your face. If not, be like, hey, I'm going to take some of your shit. And they're usually pretty cool with that. And at the end of this whole process, once I have finished with PAX, I will take inventory of everything that I've collected in terms of swag, and I will hold some sort of giveaway on the site, GameShampoo.com/magazine, for those of you who are not in the know, those poor, unfortunate bastards. And I'm just going to give one swag item away per person, so there's going to be tons of winners this time around. I know back at Comic-Con there was like, I don't know, somewhere between like 6 and 10 things I don't quite remember that I gave away probably. And this time I already have more than that, and it's only been one day, so look forward to free stuff. A lot of it's really cool too. So I'm going to go piece by piece really quickly. This is an Assassin's Creed Black Flag shirt. I'll unroll it here. It's got the logo on the front and a little game title on the back. Don't want to spend too much time on this stuff because I'll probably get to it all in a little bit more detail when the actual contest comes around. So I'll just tell you everything. So that's the Assassin's Creed shirt. We got a Splinter Cell shirt here as well. It has the little night vision goggles logo on it. This is a really cool shirt. It's a Capcom Street Fighter shirt with the top 8 Street Fighter characters as rated by Street Fighter players, and they're all rendered out in pixel style, and they have the Street Fighter 1 style map. I think you can see that on here a little bit, kind of on there above them. That's a really cool shirt. I really like that one. I've got a Watch Dogs shirt here. It looks like their logo is going to be a CCTV camera of some sort, you know, the whole paranoid, everybody's watching us kind of, you know, seeing the chemtrails, man, like the vibe that they're doing there. This is not a thing that I'm giving away. I don't know what that's doing in there. So, got that. All these shirts. I also got should say on Watch Dogs, I got a Watch Dogs lanyard to give away. And people are going around on the show floor for the next couple days, and they're looking for people wearing these lanyards, and they're just kind of handing out t-shirts at random. So I may have another t-shirt, another Watch Dogs t-shirt. I will be wearing that thing around probably. Got, I don't even know what this is, Might and Magic Duel of Champions codes. This is an online collectible trading card game. You know, kind of like that thing Blizzard announced today. But this is Might and Magic. I always thought Might and Magic was kind of neat for the most part. So this will get you like in-game items and stuff like that. I've got this card from GameWisp, which is a cloud service that stores save games, screenshots, videos, that kind of thing. And I honestly, I've never used this before. They just kind of handed this to me while I was in a line for a preview event. And gives you early access to the beta test of GameWisp. So I'm just going to tell you right now, if you want early access to the beta of a cloud save game, video, screenshot, mod, storage service, it's GameWisp.com, and the code is PAX East 13. You get early access. I'm not vouching for this in one way or the other. I've never even used or even heard of this thing before, but that's the thing I picked up. PAX East 13, if you want early access to it, and check it out. Checked out Octodad, and these things are not going to play too well right now. Probably. Ooh, trying to figure out where the camera was focusing at. But I have 2 Octodad pins. They're pretty cute. They have this like stupid little Octodad face on there. I played that game for a little while today. I guess I'll get into that in a second. It's ridiculous though. I have this, which just appears to be like this bag that I fished out of the recycling bin or something. But it's an inflatable cutlass from Assassin's Creed 4. I didn't inflate it or anything. You just kind of blow it up. And I thought I would give that out. That one was particularly cool. I have 2. This one is backwards and it's really bothering me. I have 2 The Elder Scrolls Online iPhone like menu button stickers that just stick the logo of that game on there. And I have an Elder Scrolls Online scroll. This is specifically a scroll advertising a party that's going on tomorrow night with Bethesda that I am planning on going to right now. And bringing you more compelling coverage of me eating a grilled cheese maybe or something like that. They're going to have themed food there. The cup I don't think I'll give away. I said earlier in the aforementioned grilled cheese video, it doesn't seem super durable, so I don't really know. I don't know, can you... Okay. Alright, no, maybe I will. So, according to the inner lip of this thing, which I have just now looked at, this is a visually stunning reusable plastic cup. So I don't know where I get off not giving this away. This shit is stunning. Look at this. Look at this. You're freaking out right now. I know I am. Shit's stunning. and it says top shelf dishwasher safe. So yeah, sure, I'll give you a cup too. I know, no need to thank me. Thank me, though. That would be appreciated. So that's all the swag from the first day. Agua break. And yeah, that's day 1 of 3. So expect a lot of stuff. A lot. Going to a lot of panels tomorrow. That's going to be the big thing for tomorrow. Kind of the big thing for today was I'm going to run around and I'm going to try and get my hands on everything I possibly can, which is why I ended up being so exhausted afterwards. Because it's just, you know, up there, get up there at like 7, leave the show floor at like 7. That's a good like 12-hour spin there. Came back to the hotel, did some dumb stuff with grilled cheese, which should be up on our YouTube channel now. And then went back for more panels, more dumb junk like that, more just hanging out with dudes, seeing who I can run across and start up a conversation with, and maybe find some stuff out about a video game or two. And yeah, that definitely yielded some results, which I will not be able to type all of them up tonight. I typed up 3 stories today. One about Blizzard, which was the first panel of the day, and obviously, I don't know if I'd say the biggest panel of the day, because I think Cliff Bleszinski's thing in the main panel was this morning, and that looked really large as well. I mean, the main room, I think, is probably the largest one. However, that scene at the Blizzard thing was chaos. They had a whole room filled up with people waiting, and then a whole line of probably, you know, I don't know, somewhere in the ballpark of 150 to 200 people aside from that lined up, and almost none of those people got in. So that was kind of a bummer for them. But we had the Blizzard panel today. Wrote up a story about that, and their big announcement, which was supposed to be coming today, ended up being a collectible trading card game, kind of like Magic the Gathering. And when I say kind of like Magic the Gathering, I mean it's essentially Magic the Gathering. But you can choose classes for your guys, so that's kind of cool. You know, like their class was like I think it was like a druid, healer, you know, something like that. Yeah, they was playing as a druid, and he could like heal himself throughout the battle. Stuff like that. It's going to be a free-to-play game, 1v1 using Battle.net, and there are microtransactions in the form that you can buy packs or you can buy decks, and it is themed around Warcraft, and it is called something, and that is the list of things that I know about that game. It's been such a long time, well, it hasn't really been a long time, but it feels like it has, that I don't even remember what that game is called, except that it starts with an H. Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. So that was Blizzard's game. And then next up was a Capcom panel, which was actually like immediately afterwards. I had to run in to get in there, and they wasted no time there. They showed off a ton of stuff. Talked about Mega Man's 25th anniversary, which I thought was pretty neat, because Mega Man is one of those Capcom franchises that you almost can't help but like. You know, it's one of their oldest ones that's still going today. At least in some way is still going today. We really, you know, haven't seen much with that game or with that franchise lately at all. So they showed off some products and stuff like that. I mean, pretty much have to market the crap out of statues with LED lights on them, and like, oh, we got a Mega Man USB stick and all that kind of dumb stuff. But what I really want to see is a Mega Man game, and they did have a quote out about that, not saying that they were working on one, but saying like, well, hey, like, you know, this is something that a lot of us would like to do, and we're just kind of waiting for the right idea and the right time, maybe, to talk about some of that stuff. So, they said there will be news, so we'll see what that means. So that was Mega Man, and Capcom is turning 30 this year. So they have their own little separate celebration going on. So hey, if buying all that Mega Man stuff wasn't enough money to give us, you could also buy all this Monster Hunter and Street Fighter and Devil May Cry stuff too, art books, and I think really all they showed off for the most part was art books, which is kind of cool. I think some of their games have really nice art styles to them on paper, and then get translated into 3D and just kind of look like 3D games. I think the illustrations on the covers of the Monster Hunter games have always been pretty nice looking, but I feel like some of that style is lost a little bit in the transition to, especially something like a PSP, which isn't super powerful. So so there's merit for those art books, and they could be totally cool. I don't know. And then they skipped over to Monster Hunter, which has been out for 3 days. It's been out since Tuesday. I've been playing a little bit of it here and there. It's kind of one of those games for me where it's great to play on a flight, because I am trapped in a screaming metal box and there's nothing in there but Monster Hunter, because I specifically arranged it that way so that I would get into Monster Hunter, because otherwise I'm not going to play Monster Hunter. And what I found was that after, a lot of people say there's kind of like a hurdle to jump or cross when you're getting into those games, but I didn't really find it too difficult. I'm maybe 5 hours in, so I haven't really done a ton of stuff yet. There's probably more to come, but it seems interesting. But that's all old news at this point. As far as the industry is concerned, shit that happened 3 days ago might as well have happened a year ago in a lot of cases, so they glazed over that. Remember Me, they showed off a story trailer, but we should already have that up on the site. It's been out on the internet for a couple days, and you've seen that stuff before. It is on the show floor, and it is one of the several things that I have not checked out quite yet that I'm actually really interested in seeing for myself, just because, but I don't know, I haven't slotted it into the schedule specifically, so hopefully I can go and see that maybe Sunday. I'm really interested to see how it plays, because to me, it looks like a game that plays awkwardly, but I'm not quite sure what it is, if it's something about the animations, or I think it's something with the transitions between one animation to the next, but I'm not totally sure. It just looks a little weird to me or something, I don't know. And they showed off Resident Evil Revelations, which does not look weird to me. Played that game on the 3DS, thought it was pretty awesome. And, new characters, new enemies. They had a story trailer, which set a pretty nice mood. I'm totally cool with that. I'm down for more of that game. That is the best Resident Evil in a while, hands down. And then they brought about another old game, which they're giving kind of a facelift to with Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. And yeah, I am just kind of reading off the cell phone at this point, because there was so much stuff at that Capcom conference. And a lot of it was just hey, here's some that's a lot of Capcom strategy, really. It's hey, here's some old stuff. Remember that? Well, now we're making it new again. So Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen includes a whole new expansion pack, a bunch of new enemies, a new dungeon, which takes place on Battle Black Isle, I believe it's called. They're adding a couple of kind of tweaks to the core game that I'm not sure if they're going to be patching into the normal game or not, which would be kind of weird if they weren't, such as improved fast travel systems, which they were kind of vague on. They didn't really go into too much. And then unlimited eternal stone that allows for infinite fast traveling. Then they're also sticking in, new equipment, new crafting options. So if you like Dragon's Dogma, or if you thought it looked interesting, this sounds like it'll be the best version of that, and we should be getting that in late April. So I'm actually really excited to check that out and bring you guys some more detailed coverage of it, hopefully. It looks pretty neat. And then Lost Planet 3 was showed. We have the trailer on the site again already. You didn't miss anything on Lost Planet 3 if you didn't go to the Capcom presentation. And then they talked about Street Fighter a little bit. That's when they brought up the whole t-shirt thing and the top 8 characters. So nothing really to report there. And the 2 new games they announced, both remakes. One is a remake of the old D&D arcade games, brawlers, kind of in the style of Golden Axe, co-op, fighting with buddies and killing all these D&D enemies, kind of thing. And they're updating it with new artwork, drop-in, drop-out co-op play powered by GGPO, just like some of their more recent Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, that kind of stuff have been. And they're going to be bringing along multiple endings, customizable rule sets. That's what interests me about the game most, that you can set your own rules for a game if you so desire. And I do. And it'll be coming to the Wii U, XBLA, Steam, and PSN. And the Wii U version sounds pretty neat because it will support off-TV play on the gamepad. Second game was DuckTales, which is being remastered and developed by WayForward, same guys that did Blood Rain Betrayal. They do a ton of stuff, really. They did Aliens. There was that Aliens game for the DS that was kind of Metroidvania style, and maybe the best Aliens game ever. Maybe like one of the AVP games, early ones, but it was pretty awesome. They do a lot of great work, and they've worked with Capcom before on a Shantae game for DSiWare, I believe, or maybe it was on the eShop. I don't really keep up with that stuff back then, but it's that old DuckTales game for the Super Nintendo, but they are totally revamping everything. It's beautiful graphically. It's kind of a blending of 3D backgrounds and then 2D foregrounds that looks pretty nice. And it's DuckTales. That was a pretty sweet game. Everybody sang the DuckTales theme song in unison in this panel, so if you didn't go, you missed out on a special DuckTales moment, and you should cry, feel sad, but not too sad, because you can go onto that website that I write for and read about it, because I love you. Yeah. It's getting weird. I'm tired. Third thing up on the site is a Saints Row 4 preview. That was one of the first things that I decided to seek out when I went onto the show floor today, because it was kind of a last-minute announcement by Deep Silver. It was kind of a surprise thing, and I loved Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 3 in kind of different ways, and this takes that Saints Row 3 style of like weird, bizarre, like how is this a video game stuff, and just pushes it all the way. Like I don't even know, on one level, I don't even know how this game can possibly function as a balanced and working video game because of all the crazy stuff they're cramming in here. And you'll have to go to the article to read about all of it, because I don't want to get into all of it here because this is getting to be way longer than I thought it would be. But it's like that, on that one level, it's like you have too many things in here, like superpowers and mechs and like guns and execution moves and like what aliens, what, there's aliens in Saints Row now. And then on another level, it's like, wow, this is the most amazing thing I have ever seen. So I don't know, that game could be totally awesome, and we'll find out in August. And then there are some other things that I saw today that I have yet to write about that are really exciting. I saw Watch Dogs, as you could probably tell by the wealth of Watch Dogs paraphernalia over here. I saw Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and delved, pun intended, into some underwater gameplay. Pretty interesting, definitely new territory for the series. I saw Octodad today, and that game is just charming. I'm going to write a little piece on that game. It's coming to Steam via Greenlight. I saw a little bit of Transistor, just enough to know that I want to see more of Transistor. I may have mentioned this in a previous video, but Bastion is one of my favorite games of this generation, and Transistor is coming from Supergiant, the same guys who developed Bastion. And so, if at all possible, I did speak to the team very briefly today, but they were kind of closing things down. I had just come out of the Black Flag demo, and if possible, I would love to have kind of an extended conversation with them on some of their design philosophies and stuff like that. So we'll see if I can make that happen either tomorrow or Sunday. But I did see Transistor just really briefly. I saw the indie games that the PAX had chosen for the indie booth. Not the indie mega booth, I don't think, but the totally blanking on it right now, and it's way too late to be thinking right now. But yeah, I saw those indie games, the PAX indie thing, and most, if not all of those, seemed like they were for the iPad or iOS devices. I don't know that a lot of those really warrant going into specific detail about, because a lot of them are really simple, but I might revisit some and just to make sure. And saw a little bit of Jump Kick, which is a fighting game in which you can only jump and then kick, like, you know, that kind of like, huh, like my sound effects, the kind of like downwards kicking move that, you know, pretty much every fighting game character has some variation on. That's the only move in that game, and the first hit is always a kill in that game, which is kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, it's kind of like this weird high stakes thing, because all you can do is jump around like an idiot, but if you get hit by the other person, you're immediately dead. Nobody wants to, as Iron Galaxy's Dave Lang said, nobody wants to be perfected in a fighting game, and that is the only possible outcome in this fighting game. So it's kind of weirdly tense in a way. It's actually very interesting, and they have these hilarious 2-button controllers, these giant arcade board style controllers, and then you're just hitting a giant jump button and then a giant kick button. So that's, for the most part, what I saw today, as far as I can remember. And then I'm looking forward to 2 more busy days on the PAX show floor. Tomorrow, like I said a while ago, is going to focus largely on panels, starting off with the BioShock Infinite panel, which is also supposed to delve into some System Shock 2 and BioShock 1 stuff, so that should be an interesting point of comparison, just to see how far the company's come. And there's all kinds of stuff happening tomorrow. League of Legends panel is tomorrow. There's a Cards Against Humanity panel that I would love to attend. There's that Elder Scrolls Online party where I should finally be able to get my hands on the game, because I did not get around to visiting Bethesda's booth today. And then, like I said before, hopefully I'll be able to have some Remember Me stuff, some more Transistor stuff. And it should be very, very fun if I still have planes tomorrow. So that's the swag today. That's the news today in a nutshell. My table of amazing stuff here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. and stay tuned for days 2 and 3 of PAX East.